In this part, we will discuss about the process called spermatogenesis. The process spermatogenesis takes place in male gonads, that is testes. So location is testis. Okay. So this spermatogenesis process, the process by which the sperms can produce, is known as spermatogenesis, and the location is our male gonad, that is testis, which is a primary sex organ in case of male reproductive system. And if we discuss about the exact location, then the exact location is our seminiferous tube. Okay. So before going to start about the spermatogenesis process, let us discuss about something related terms or the organisms. So listen here, the organisms are classified into three categories basing on the location of testis, and testicular cycle. So basing on the location of the testis and testicular cycle, the organisms are classified into three categories. What are those? See, some organisms are seasonal breeders. Some organisms seasonal breeders. That means here they will go under breeding process seasonal. Seasonal breeders undergoes breeding process. Breeding process, that means your reproductive phase. Okay, reproduction process. They will go under breeding process seasonally. Then they are called as what? Seasonal breeders. Example, you can say dog, cat, and all these things. Okay, and some organisms you can say undergo breeding process seasonal. Okay, and some breeders are there, example human being, which can go the breeding process throughout the year. So those organisms, okay, undergo breeding process throughout the year. Example, what we can say? Examples are human beings, we can give. Okay, and so here, so there are two types of breeders are there. Though some breeders do the breeding process, undergo breeding process seasonally, and some organisms undergoes breeding process throughout the year. And basing on this is the testicular cycle. Basing on the testicular cycle, these are two types. And basing on the testis location, see, human beings, as we already discussed, that the testis is located inside the scrotum, right? Or you can say, in case of human beings, testis located outside the abdominal cavity. Outside the abdominal cavity. Okay, but in case of other organisms such as elephant, whales, okay, those organisms, in case of elephants whales, the testes located inside the abdominal cavity. Okay. So here why the testes should be located outside the abdominal cavity in case of human beings? Because we know that the human beings sperm required little bit minimum 2 to 3 degrees Celsius less than the body temperature for their formation or for their maturation or development. But in case of these animals, the sperm can produce inside the abdominal cavity, or you can say that inside the testes, and the testis is located inside the abdominal cavity because they sperm do not require the what body temperature or the temperature which is less than the body temperature. Or you can say that these organisms sperm can develop, can be matured at their body temperature. So this is all about the types of testis location and the types of breeders. So again comes to the point, that is spermatogenesis process. The spermatogenesis process, okay, the spermatogenesis process is the process which takes place in case of human beings to produce the sperms. And this process takes place by two phases or two steps. Okay, that is, one is formation of spermatids. Okay, and the next one is your spermiogenesis. Okay, so these are the two steps by which the complete spermatogenesis process takes place. One is your formation of spermatids, the next one is your spermiogenesis. So again, this formation of spermatids divided into certain categories. First one is your multiplication phase. Certain phases are there involved in the formation of spermatids. The first one is your multiplication phase. Second one is your growth phase. And the third one is maturation phase. And in certain books you can find out the another phase also, that is differentiation phase. Differentiation phase. So these are the entire phases which complete the formation of spermatids, and after the spermatid formation there has to be transfer into sperm. That's why the next step is our spermiogenesis. And these all process, see here, one more things I can tell here, that the testis is located inside the abdominal cavity. So how we know that the exact location is our seminiferous tubules, which is present inside the testis. And these testes, in case of male, grows inside the abdominal cavity actually. Grows inside the abdominal cavity during 6 to 7 months. Okay, actually they will go inside the abdominal cavity only. Okay, during 6 to 7 months, the testis has to be descend outside the abdominal cavity towards scrotal sac. Okay, so during this period, okay, during gestation period or when the embryo development takes place inside the mother's womb, the testis lies inside the abdominal cavity, or you can say the of the fetus. Okay, we are talking about the fetus here or the embryo. So the inside the fetus only the or inside the fetal embryo abdominal cavity testis lies. But in case of during 6 to 7 months of the gestation period, there has to be ascent outside the body of the abdominal cavity, that is towards the scrotal sac. Clear? Suppose some cases, very few cases, what happens? The testis may not comes out, or you can say descend out towards the scrotal sac, okay, and remain inside the abdominal cavity such condition known as cryptochidism. Okay, so this is all about the testis location, and we'll discuss in details how these seminiferous tubules or the spermatogenesis process exactly takes place in seminiferous tubules. This is about the introduction. Okay, again make a little quick recap here that spermatogenesis process, exact location is testis, and more about the exact location is seminiferous tubule. This is present inside the testis. Organisms are classified into 3 categories. Basing on that, here basing on the location of testis and the testicular loop cycle, seasonal breeders breeding throughout the year, and there are some examples are given. And here, in this case, the testis may be located inside the abdominal cavity in some organisms, and in other organisms, the testis may lie inside the abdominal cavity. And the testis is developed inside the fetal embryonic, during the embryonic development or during the fetal development, the testis lies inside the abdominal cavity, but during the 6 to 7 months of the gestation period, they have to descend outside and comes into the scrotal sac. But in case of some organisms or some maybe this is divided, so here in such cases we can say that cryptochidism, here crypto means hidden. So maybe the testis may not come out or descend out toward the scrotal sac and present inside the abdominal cavity. Then such condition is called as what? Cryptochidism. And here's just introduction about the spermatogenesis process, which we will discuss later videos. That spermatogenesis process takes place in 2 steps: formation of spermatids and spermatogenesis. Formation of spermatids takes place in these phases: multiplication phase, growth phase, maturation phase, differentiation phase. And the next step is here, after completing this all, it has to be go through this phase for the complete formation of the sperm. So in next video we will discuss about the detailed structure of spermatogenesis.